Hello. I have no idea if y'all can hear me. Hopefully I can't hear anything. I put my video on and I couldn't hear it. So sorry if you couldn't hear it. How is everybody? Feather on my microphone. Hold on. I know I haven't been live in like a really long time. Just hard to maintain a full-time job and children and a YouTube channel. I mean, I guess some people could do it, but I'm not very good at it. Hey, Lori. Hey, Tia. Good to see you too. And I lost Pidge, one of my birds. She broke her beak and passed away while she was at the vet. So we got a new cockatoo, a Goffin's cockatoo named Shorty, and he is like a 3-year-old toddler who takes up more of my time than my children. So, you know, that takes a hand in it too. But he's awesome. Maybe I'll show you guys a video. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull one up for you if you haven't seen him. I tried to post some actually on my YouTube, but I don't do it as much as I should. Like put them on shorts. Oh my goodness. I accidentally just turned on Glorilla. What you know about me? G-O-N. In a G-L-E. Sorry. I like turned on YouTube and that song was on in my ear. Hold on a second. Hi, Pointer Lover. Hey, Home and Hounds. Hey, Ava. Oh my gosh. I am so upset about Carol freaking Claus. I just seen that the other day. I am so upset about that. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, that's fun. Putting together desk. At least you can listen here. I'll show you a video of my bird. I know, I'm so sad. I just can't believe it. All right, so this is Shorty having a dance battle with my hubby, and then my dog starts getting upset because he's flapping his wings, and I guess he didn't like the sound, and then my bird gets mad at my dog. I know I'll miss her spiciness in the chat. She always made me laugh. She was always saying something spicy, or you know, she was funny. Can you hear it? Okay, hopefully. Can you guys hear the audio? Because if you don't hear the audio, I need to fix it because hi Patty. She was a funny girl for sure. Okay, no sound. All right, hold on. Also share tab audio. Window. Oh, okay. Share tab audio. All right, let's try it like this. All right, tell me now.
Sir Bouncer again.
What?
Hey, Wing Zero.
Sir Bouncer again.
Really?
Stop. He's playing.
Stop it.
Say woo. You gonna say?
I see. It's enough.
Yeah, that's right. Be quiet.
Be quiet right now.
He said, "Hey, be quiet right now." And if he hears you like talking about him or saying something funny, he'll start laughing. I'm surprised I haven't heard him laugh from Miss KJ. He'll go, ha ha ha. He said, hey, be quiet. Right now. He does
Dad, say this.
Oh, that's not mine. He does say, he can say that. He told me the other day to do that. Oh, how do I get to mine? Hold on. There we go. I think it's this.
You like it? Woo, woo, woo. Put your leg out. Sure. Sure. Hi. No, I wanna shoot, baby, shoot. Let me see the leg. Woo, 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 woo. Back to the subject. Do the leg kick. You like woo. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, shoot that leg. Woo, woo. Oh, you like it? Woo.
He's funny. He dances and he goes la la la. He sings. He can say hello, shorty. Hello, pretty bird. Hi, birdie. Baby bird. He can say he can laugh. Shut up. Be quiet. He has like many different variations of hey. There's like hey, then there's like hey when he's mad, and then there's like a if he tries to like bite you and you move and you dodge it, he'll be like hey, like he's like impressed with your skills. And he does I'm trying to think of other stuff he can do. He's funny. Oh yeah, he's a trip. He's a lot of work though. I'm not gonna lie. Like if I leave the room for too long, he will scream. And oh my gosh, tonight I had like an hour battle with him to get him to bed. He would not go to bed. He would not. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to. Hold on. So he would not go to bed, and every time I would put him like towards the cage, he'd grab the door, like the bars above the door, so he couldn't get in the cage. And I'm like, come on, man. I spent like an hour trying to get him in. I was getting so frustrated. And then finally, I just gave up after an hour, and I said, listen, come on, shorty, please. Can you just go to bed and be a good boy? I really need you to go to bed. Mommy needs you to be a good boy and go to bed. And this mother effer climbed right in. After an hour of fighting him, I asked him nicely, and he climbed in. Like that. Oh, I have a bunch of other ones here I can show you real quick. But my singing in them is terrible, so...
All right, go. Woo! Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Your turn.
It sounds like this.
Go, shorty. Your turn. Go, shorty.
And he's very dusty, if you can't tell on my black sheet.
It's your birthday. Go, shorty. It's your birthday. Go, shorty. Here we go. We're gonna lift his wings. Yay! Go, boy.
I'm a bad cameraman. I was getting excited.
You can't get back. Whoa. Go, 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 go.
His name's Shorty, so we were trying to get him hyped with a song that said
You
Shorty.
like this song? It's your birthday. Yeah, big wings. Woo, woo. Go, baby. Go, baby. Go, baby, go. Mommy in the club. Bottle full of bubble. Woo, yeah. Na, na, na. Come on. Woo. Woo. Look at you. Shaking the butt. Woo. Shaking your butt. You shaking your butt? Come on, come on. Woo! La 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 la. Come on, come on.
Hey, Brandon. Thank you.
Hi. beautiful. You're a beautiful singer. Can you say doggy? Go shorty. Go shorty. Go shorty. Hello. Hello. Say what's up. Can you say what's up? Shorty. Can you say what's up? Hello, Shorty. Hi, Birdie. Hello, Birdie. Say ha 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 ha. Can you laugh for me?
He just started laughing in the background. I don't know if you can hear him.
Can you say ha ha? Can you say
He's laughing in his
ha
cage.
ha ha? You don't want to laugh? You just want to say Shorty? Shorty Birdie.
And he's in love with my T-Rex
Making
sticker
Rexy
on my
look
wall.
pretty.
Shorty, I hear you.
You helping Rexy with her pin feathers? Yeah? You're so nice. Yeah?
He's rubbing his beak all over.
You're
That's a
doing
sign of
good
affection.
job. Hi, Shorty. Yeah, Shorty's doing a good job. You gotta get the teethies there, too. Ooh. Here you go. Oh, hi. Hi, T-Rex.
Yeah, he's just stroking the poster.
Hello. La, la, la.
You see him wave to her?
Wave.
Or
Hello.
him, whatever the T-Rex is.
Wave hello. Say hello. Oh, you did it again. So
Will you
cute.
stop laughing? I
That was
hear
so
you.
nice. Wave hello again. Say hello. Shorty. I love my birdie and my doggy. Shorty, go on. It's your turn. Go, Shorty. It's your turn.
I make lots of songs up for him.
I need your la la la. Yeah. Ready? I love my birdie and my doggy. Shorty and Tyson. I love my birdie and my doggy. Good job. High five. Give me a high five. Okay. That works too.
All right. Enough of the bird videos. He's funny though. I'll have to bring him on a live one time. I'm sure he would love that. He loves attention. And he's a cuddler too. At first it would scare me when I first got him because when he cuddles, when you pet him, he like smushes his head into you, and he's got this like really large beak that could like do some major damage if he bit me. And like the first day I got him, he stuck his face right into my jugular and like made me pet him. And I was terrified. I'm like, oh my goodness, this big ass bird is sticking his beak in my neck. But now he's not like, he doesn't, well, right now mating season is going on, so he's a little naughty. Like he'll be fine for most of the day and cuddly, and then out of nowhere he'll be like a little brat shorty. But but it's easy to tell if he's about to like pull a fast one on you. You can see it coming. So 25 months, woo woo. Right. Okay, well, I figured while I was on here, I'll talk about these two cases that I guess I have. They just like caught my interest for sure. I wouldn't say they're like super huge right now, but they're like kind of big, and they're very similar to me. The first one I'm going to talk about is Nikki Saelee McCain. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but she really kind of reminds me of like Maya Miletti a little bit. She has two very like devoted sisters, kind of like Maya did. Like her sisters are very in the spotlight, trying to fight for her kind of deal. She lives in California, which so is Maya Miletti. And it seems that, I don't know if he's been officially labeled a suspect, but her husband is definitely, their eyes on him for sure. More than anyone. I'll show you pictures real quick. Nikki. So she actually went missing, I think it was like in May 17th, 2024. But it's just starting to kind of like roll back around right now because they've officially labeled her being missing as like a homicide, which before she was just a missing person, but now they are labeling it as a homicide, which is huge. Okay, so this is her. Is there a way I can zoom in? This is Nikki Saelee, and that is her husband, Tyler McCain, who I would say, if he's not labeled a main suspect, he's like the main suspect to the public, I guess. The missing California mother who allegedly planned to divorce her husband before she mysteriously vanished last year is a victim of homicide, police revealed Friday in a shocking update on a 10-month investigation. She is very pretty. Doesn't she remind you of like Maya Miletti a little bit? Like the situation is kind of similar. Like she kind of like reminds me of her, like how she looks. She lives in California. I don't know, just like I don't like she kind of reminded me of her a little bit. She was last heard of on May 18th, 2024, 10 days after she texted loved ones about her plans to end her 15-year marriage with husband Tyler McCain. A missing persons report was filed for the mother of 4. They have 4 kids. On May 22nd, 2024, it was upgraded to a homicide investigation, the Shasta County Sheriff's Office announced. Based on evidence gathered, information learned from interviews, and the fact that none of Nikki's family members had heard from Nikki since May 18th, 2024, detectives have determined that Nikki is a victim of homicide. Officials executed multiple search warrants throughout the case and have identified several persons of interest in the suspected killing. So it sounds like that they have, this is just what I've got from what I've read, like they have some video of somebody picking up Tyler, maybe Tyler, they're not saying it's Tyler, but they have video of somebody picking up somebody in a truck in a certain area. So sort of like he is and he isn't. Now he's trying to like be in the spotlight a little bit, I guess, to not look shady. But so based on evidence gathered, oh wait, I said that. Officials executed multiple search warrants. They have identified several persons of interest. Police have not publicly identified the people due to the ongoing nature of the investigation. A team that included the Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and agents from Homeland Security served a search warrant on Friday at the last known residence of Saelee McCain before she was reported missing, which tells me that, I think he is involved with this a little bit because it sounds like they may have found stuff in the search warrants. I've heard that they took stuff out of the house. So there's a Facebook group, and in the Facebook group, I guess somebody had spoke to Tyler. I'm not sure if it was one of her sisters or like a neighbor or something, but she had the video recording, and you can hear her like asking him, well, what happened to Nikki? When they searched the house, they didn't take anything out. She says something to him like they didn't take anything else out of the house until they use the infrared or whatever. She said after they use like the infrared light or whatever that light's called, I forget. They like the blue light they use for blood. After that, they started taking material, and then he was trying to make it like it was nothing. I feel like he was a little bit to an extent, but not like he wasn't in the public eye. Like he wasn't really helping like lead the way to find his wife, if that makes sense. The property on the 7th, that's Chloe Saelee and Nikki. That's her one sister. The property on the 17,000 block of Olinda Road in Anderson, California, had multiple cars in the yard surrounded by a gated fence, according to Street View photos. Police are looking for the driver of a red-colored truck that picked up an adult male in the rural community of Platina, California, between May 18th and May 25th. The area is located 45 miles southwest of the Anderson house. Officials have not filed any charges in the case and have not interviewed Saelee McCain's family, friends, or acquaintances for information. The mother of 4 messaged family members about her desire to leave her husband, who had been charged with felony domestic violence. This is where it gets interesting, which I'll go over all this after I read this article. McCain was on trial for felony abuse charges against his wife. So what happened was she had filed charges against him for like beating her up, right? And supposedly, this is from the chatter going around, that he had taken her to like his lawyer's office and basically told her like, you need to tell him I didn't do any of this. And she refused to. So now they're saying like, should this lawyer be allowed to be his lawyer because he's technically like a witness or whatever? I haven't seen that it's officially been confirmed that this happened, but this is like what's going around. They're saying that if it did happen, the lawyer shouldn't be allowed to represent him because he should be like a witness if he brought her in there and she refused to try and force her to say it didn't happen, and she refused. Well, anyway, she disappears right before their court date. And then he goes to court and he gets off because she's not there to testify. So they have to drop the charges. Hey, Mo and Co. How are you? So, yeah. So he was about to get some serious, have some serious charges, and then she disappears, and then, he gets off. It gets even crazier. Listen to this. So the mother of 4 messaged family members about her desire to leave her husband, who had been charged with felony domestic violence. McCain was on trial for felony abuse charges against his wife. Saelee McCain claimed her husband had intended to kill her. Tyler McCain was accused by his wife of tying her up and viciously beating her over 3 hours inside the home. He was never named a suspect in her disappearance. Okay, so I guess he still isn't a suspect, but I'm pretty sure it's like evident that like everybody is on the same page that everybody thinks he did it. Like her sister's everything. Chloe Saelee recalled not recognizing her sister in the hospital after the alleged assault. Saelee revealed last year that the police had been called to their home multiple times because McCain had become increasingly violent since the pandemic. A lot of people think he's like started using and stuff like that by the way that he talks and like carries himself, I guess. Like he's very, I don't know, uppity, I guess. They kind of like, from what I've read. Saelee said her sister was looking forward to her new life and a new home and winning her children in the divorce. She was really excited. She was looking at furniture for a new place, and she was ready to leave Tyler and divorce him for good. She was really confident and determined, and she was ready to take those next steps finally. On March 10th, McCain spoke out for the first time since his wife vanished. So that's what I was saying. He hasn't like publicly begged people to help find her or anything like that. And then they had a press conference on March 10th, which kind of makes me wonder if police asked him to speak, because you know how like when they think people are guilty, they try and like purposely put them in the public eye to see how they react. Like it almost felt like that. And he said, I haven't been in the public eye and I haven't done very well with it. Told KHSL, I apologize to everyone, especially my children, my wife's family, and mine as well. The charges against McCain were dropped after his wife's disappearance. He pleaded not guilty to the attack, claiming that his wife got her injuries from a fight with someone else. So ridiculous. Why would she get in a fight with someone else and blame him? All right, let me show you guys this. So like feet and nails.
This morning, the husband and family of Nikki McCain renewed their call for help in the ongoing search for the missing Reading woman. Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield shares their message as the search nears the 300-day mark.
Your kids need you and we need you. And we just want you to know this is not your fault.
Nikki Saelee McCain has been missing for nearly 10 months. She was last seen at the Redding Rancheria on the night of May 17th. Last November, her family celebrated her 40th birthday without her.
We have connected with the missing persons community, including Gabby Petito's mother. Gabby Petito was found after a tip from social media, and we haven't lost hope.
Despite efforts by the sheriff's office and the community to help find Nikki, including putting up this billboard along I-5 North in Anderson, no new details on her whereabouts have emerged. For the first time since her disappearance, Nikki's husband, Tyler McCain, addressed the media. During his speech, McCain thanked the sheriff's office and the FBI for investigating Nikki's disappearance.
I haven't been in the public eyes, and I haven't done very well with it. I apologize to everyone, especially my children, my wife's family, mine as well.
Despite a $30,000 reward from the Shasta County Sheriff's Office, its major crimes unit has not been able to find new information or evidence in its case.
And at this point, let's let the media know that we're not planning on taking any questions after regarding this case, and the families relayed the same. So please respect that.
On social media, Nikki's family is using the hashtag #WhereIsNikki to help spread awareness and find information about her disappearance. Reporting in Redding, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
Nikki's husband, Tyler McCain, has been involved in several legal proceedings since her disappearance. One of them involved a felony domestic abuse charge that was dismissed by DA Stephanie Bridget due to Nikki not being present to testify as a witness.
Right? Isn't that super shady for sure? Okay, so I'll read you a little bit more about her. So, she was a 39-year-old mother of 4 from Happy Valley, Shasta County, California. She vanished under mysterious circumstances in May 2024. Born in 1984 in a refugee camp in Thailand to a Maine family, an ethnic, I think that's how you say it, Maine? M-I-E-N. An ethnic group from Southeast Asia, Nikki immigrated to the United States with her parents and 6 siblings in the mid-1980s. She grew up in Redding, California, and was known for her vibrant personality, described by her sisters as goofy, outgoing, brave, and feisty with a big heart. Nikki met Tyler McCain over a decade ago while working at the Wind River Casino, where she was a cocktail waitress, and he was a slot technician. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but I don't know. Maybe he forced her, threatened her. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I could think of, is maybe that he threatened her to go there and then she just refused when she got there. Or maybe guilt tripped her. I don't know. The couple married, had 4 children, and lived together in a rural area about 10 miles west of Anderson. Last contact May 17th, 18th, 2024. Her last known communication occurred shortly after midnight on May 18th, 2024. She texted her younger sister, Chloe Saelee, stating she was driving her mother-in-law, Jeanette McCain's truck, back to the McCain home near the Wind River Casino. Earlier that day, Nikki had accompanied Jeanette to Mercy Medical Center in Redding to visit her brother-in-law, Brian McCain, who was hospitalized due to a medical emergency. This text was the final message anyone received from Nikki. Her family later noted that her subsequent text to her went unread, suggesting her phone was either turned off, broken, or out of power. So she comes back at midnight. I don't know if she was bringing her mom to her house or her mom's house. They just said the McCain home. I don't know if that meant her mother-in-law's home or their home. Reported missing May 21st. Hey, Aussie True Crime. After days of silence, Nikki's family grew alarmed. She was reported missing to the Redding Police Department on May 21st due to her residence in Happy Valley, an unincorporated area under Shasta County Sheriff's Office jurisdiction. The case was transferred to the SCSO's Major Crimes Unit. The family speculated that RPD might have retained jurisdiction since Nikki was last known to be at Mercy Medical Center within Redding city limits, but the SCSO took the lead. Truck found on May 25th. Nikki's 2002 pewter-colored Chevy Avalanche, California license plate DP154UT, was discovered abandoned in a remote area of western Tehama County near Highway 36. Didn't he say that they were looking for somebody in a red pickup truck picking up a man around? Is that where they said Highway 36? Because if they found her truck there, maybe that's where they found him getting a ride after dropping it off there, which means, like they said, several people would be involved. Authorities have not disclosed the exact location, citing the ongoing investigation. A community search in the area yielded no trace of Nikki. I'm going to have to look and see if they're near each other. We'll look at that on a map after I read this. Domestic violence context. Nikki's disappearance is deeply intertwined with allegations of domestic violence involving her husband, Tyler McCain, age 39 at the time. Key details include, according to the sheriff's report, Nikki alleged that Tyler brutally assaulted her at the Happy Valley home. She claimed he arrived home around 8:30 p.m., immediately attacked her, dragged her across the ground, and bound her wrists and ankles with tape while yelling accusations. The assault reportedly lasted hours. 3 days later, on November 22nd, Nikki sought treatment at Mercy Medical Center, where a deputy interviewed her. She had severe black eyes and swelling consistent with physical assault. She then stayed with her sister in Redding before filing a police report. December 2023, Tyler was charged with felony counts of domestic violence, false imprisonment, making criminal threats, and assault likely to produce great bodily injury. He pled not guilty. A trial was set for July 2024. Charges dismissed July 5th, 2024. Then, with Nikki missing and unable to testify, the Shasta County District Court Attorney's Office moved to dismiss the charges against Tyler. DA Stephanie Bridget explained that without Nikki's live testimony, the case couldn't proceed due to Tyler's constitutional right to confront his accuser. The dismissal preserved the option to refile within 3 years statute of limits if new evidence emerged. Over 200 community members, including Nikki's main family, rallied outside the courthouse in Redding to protest the dismissal and demand justice. Search efforts. The SCSO along the Redding Ranch area and a Native American tribe tied to Tyler's family, NorCal Alliance for the Missing, and Kingsman Philanthropic launched extensive searches. The Rancheria allowed searches on its sovereign land and erected a billboard along Interstate 5 offering $10,000 reward, later combined with others for a total of $30,000. Nikki's sisters Chloe and Kay appeared on Crime Stories with Nancy Grace in June 2024 to raise awareness, noting Nikki's history of bruises since 2019. Homicide ruling on March 14th, 2025. Nearly 10 months after her disappearance, the SCSO announced that Nikki's case was now a homicide investigation. Evidence from search warrants, including one served on March 14th, the same day it was ruled a homicide, at the McCain home with the FBI and Homeland Security assistance. Wouldn't they need some kind of proof that she was dead too, like blood? Like I said, if they found like a lot of blood or something of that nature to say, okay, like this is enough evidence to tell us that she actually is dead and not missing. I thought they had to have like something along those lines to actually officially label it a homicide. And they said that they took some things out of the house that after they did the blue light thing. And I think people like, all right, so they have a friend who lives near Tyler's house, like the sisters, and that person keeps an eye on things going on. Days before the homicide. Oh, wait, sorry, here we go. The warrants, including one served on March 14th at the McCain home with the FBI and Homeland Security assistance. And interviews led detectives to conclude she was a victim of foul play. Persons of interest were identified but not named to protect the investigation. Authorities also sought the driver of a red truck seen near Highway 36. Yes, that's the same area, right? Where they found her truck. I just said, I'm going to look it up. And it said Authorities sought the driver of a red truck seen near Highway 36 in Tehama County between May 18th, 25th, possibly linked to a man picked up in the area. Let me see. Truck found. Yep. Discovered abandoned in a remote area of western Tehama County near Highway 36. There we go. So they found, I guess, camera footage of somebody in a red pickup truck. I'm guessing picking up Tyler, who was dumping the car, or somebody he had dumping the car. I don't know. Or whoever the heck was dumping the car. But I'm imagining Tyler's involved because they searched the house the same day they labeled it a homicide. And they took a bunch of stuff. Days before the homicide ruling, Tyler spoke publicly for the first time at a press conference organized by Nikki's family and the SCSO. Standing alongside Chloe K. and law enforcement, he appeared emotional, speaking softly about missing Nikki and apologizing to his children and family for avoiding the spotlight. He pledged support but offered no specific details about her disappearance. Additional context. This is crazy. This is what I was waiting to get to. The Olinda fire, July 2024. Tyler was cited by CAL FIRE for accidentally starting a wildfire near his property while fixing a car, which burned vehicles and land but spared the house. Some speculated it was an attempt to destroy evidence, though no proof supports this. Community response. Nikki's case has drawn significant attention, partly due to Redding's history with high-profile missing person case. Sherry Papini was an example. Online sleuths and locals have focused suspicion on Tyler, though he has not been charged in her disappearance. As of March 29, 2025, she still remains missing and her body has not been found. The $30,000 reward stands for information leading to her location, and they urge anyone with tips to contact the Major Crimes Unit at 530-245-6135 or mcu@shastacounty.gov. Yeah, that's what everyone thought too, that he was getting rid of evidence. Let me see if I can find like the videos on the Facebook page I can show you. I mean, like, the Facebook page is pretty, like, they have a lot of, one second. Cannot remember my Facebook password for the life of me, and I have to keep changing it because I forget it. And then is that not right? What the fuck? Oh, come on. Hold on a second. I gotta do all kinds of like check this device, and my phone screen broke the other day. I need a new phone so bad because I'm using this iPhone SE right now, and it's like a baby phone. It's so small. I've never even seen anything like it, and I can't stand it, and it has no storage. So I gotta get my screen fixed, but I've gotten this phone fixed so many times, I'm just over it. Like, so over it. I don't want this. I had an iPhone 14 Pro Max, but now the screen's broken, so I don't even know what to do. Yeah. I mean, I can go get it fixed for like $200. I feel like the more Apple makes new phones, when you know they have the technology to like really make it like indestructible, as they get newer and newer, they're more fragile, and they break and break and break, and then I have to keep getting it fixed, and I can't take it. I am terrible at phones. I drop it so much. Even if I have a case on it, it breaks. I had a case on it, and it broke immediately. The group is called Justice for Nikki. I'll share the link if you guys want to read it or like look at it. There's the link. Hopefully it comes up as a link. Maybe you guys can just copy and paste it. Oh, what do you know? It's Tyler's birthday today, someone said. Someone commented and said, Tyler, wishing you nothing but the best in a concrete cell block. It would be nice if you got arrested today. I'm trying to see if I can find this video or the lady. There's like a video where somebody pulls up beside him and is recording and talking to him. I'm trying to find it. Oh, so there was a guy named Albert who was Tyler's friend, supposedly. Last night, Anderson, shortly before 8:30, Anderson Police Department and the CHP Air Division engaged in a brief high-speed chase involving a vehicle. The pursuit ended near the intersection of Alinda Road and Chestnut Street, where the driver stopped, exited the vehicle, and fled on foot, leaving a female passenger behind to be detained. The canine team successfully apprehended him. The suspect, identified as Franz Albert Nelson, was arrested on multiple charges, including failure to appear and vehicle theft. Apparently, he's a butcher and he's friends with Tyler. Interesting. Hold on, let me share my screen so you guys can see this because I'm just talking and you can't see it. How do I find this tab? No. Can you see this? Hold on a second. Oh, geez. Oh, man, that hurt my ear. Holy moly. I have my volume up way too high in my ears. Come on. I can't figure out why I can't. No, it's not that. It's not showing up for some reason. I have to share my whole screen. All right, whatever. It's going to look weird because I have a, I know, I'm wondering that too. What kind of car does he drive? All right, so I guess some people were staying at Tyler's house. Where this person, an anonymous person, says people that lived at Tyler's is probably shouldn't share these names, but they mention that guy Franz Albert Jr. I know that. Rent the property. So I guess they're in like a tribe, and those people frequent the home. And the guy who got arrested, this guy, is Tyler's friend and was staying there. Oh, this was a training exercise. I gotta find this darn video. I didn't know it would be this far back. They had a lot of posts since then. Oh, this video right here, I believe, is where they mention the testimony of the
her
lawyer.
testimony of domestic violence to his lawyer, and she wouldn't. With client confidentiality waived, is his lawyer now a witness and should recuse himself?
Well, first of all, that's a great question. So let me say this. I don't know the details of that. If there was a witness present, like an investigator, in addition to the lawyer and Tyler, that could be utilized as just an interview of a witness. It could also be viewed as a violation of Tyler's bail if he was present, and a violation of the protective order because he has undue influence over Nikki, having been accused of very violently abusing her. So I could tell you this, that does not look great. And if that happened, it could compromise that lawyer's ability to continue to defend Tyler, because if the motive was to silence her, she refused to be silenced at that meeting. That lawyer is a huge witness potentially. And you would have to argue the fact that Nikki was present waives the attorney-client privilege. Now, they will fight that, but that's a great thought, Kathy. It's a great question. So if that happened, it's a potential problem for his counsel. It's something that has to be addressed. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if that's the motive for this case and he's ultimately charged, that lawyer would be on the witness stand. Or I would try, and then we'd fight about the attorney-client privilege, and we would fight like hell to get that meeting, if it happened, before a jury.
So how does that move forward? Is that when there are finally charges brought, let's say charges are brought against Tyler, does the prosecutor handle that and dig into that further? How do you get this in front of people?
Oh, yeah. So you would send somebody to interview the attorney. He'll say it's attorney-client privilege. You may serve him with a grand jury subpoena to get him to talk. He'll have to get his own counsel, things of that nature, if it goes that way. And if this happened the way Kathy's saying it happened, but it's occasioned by the investigators and prosecution. Believe me, if this is how it went down, the lawyer's not going to open that can of worms. You got to keep the pressure on them, though. But again, it's because it's not only that meeting happened, it's the fact that it factors into the ultimate potential motive for the murder. That's why it's a key event. And somebody out there said, well, you don't have to prove motive. Well, in this particular case, the motive is significant. It goes to the level of intent. So that lawyer could find himself in hot ethical soup.
Wow. That's really interesting. And just bringing up
if it happens.
Right.
I thought that was interesting, if it's true. It looks like her sister might have been saying it. And then there's also rumors that Nikki's body was moved several times. I guess this is someone in his family posting, glad others are helping him clear out those cars. He's a great mechanic, but there are too many cars out there. So thanks, I Spy Blank, for keeping us updated. As a reminder, Nikki is not on that property and Tyler has nothing to do with her disappearance. Whoever this person is, they're claiming that they have been cleared, but I never heard that. But where is this darn video of her just... Oh, here it is. This is from last night. He walked out on the road. As I turned around, I have not driven by purposely for a few weeks. So I'm guessing this is the woman that they call the spy who drives by. The conversation started with me asking what he wanted, why he did walk out to the mailbox and stop me. He proceeded to talk with me after him asking a few times for me to go inside his house and sit and talk, and then I started recording. There are parts cut out due to situations and names.
Did she tell her?
I don't know those people.
That's her family.
That's not my girlfriend. I do not sleep with her. She helps me clean the house. That's it.
Nope, she's dating you. I know her family.
I'll take one guy right now.
I know her family. Hold on, there's a car coming. I know her family. And her family said that you were dating.
I promise you on everything I love. On everything.
Then why would she tell her?
I don't know those people.
That's her family.
I don't.
My. Don't need to know.
I don't know her like that. I'm sorry.
Well, she told everyone that you guys are dating.
I promise you, I am not dating her, and I do not sleep with her. She was staying here simply. She would help me clean up the house, just help keep my house. That's it.
Then what happened to Nikki?
Have you talked to the investigators?
Nope.
Then you should. Because I've said everything I can say. I promise you. There's nothing more I can say.
Then how did she disappear from here to your mom's house?
It's in the police report. It's all in there. It's common knowledge. It's public knowledge.
No, it's not until the investigation's done. You know that.
No, it is public knowledge.
Then what happened?
Read it. I just spoke with her sisters. They came over there today.
Yeah, I know. They were here the night before the raid.
Right.
I talked to her sisters the day of the raid.
Would you like to see what those mean? They're in alphabetical order in the line. They simply are steps. Okay? It's like numerical.
I know. They marked everything for evidence.
Right. But it's a different way of.
And they took things out of your house, Tyler.
You know what they take out of my house?
Yeah, I was
What
here.
did they take?
I was here for 2 hours.
Then you should know everything, right? What did they take?
I don't know everything, but I know some of the things they took.
I know everything they took. I'll tell you right now. They took the pictures off my wall
Uh-huh.
of my family.
Yep.
Why would they do that?
They took a carpet cleaner too. Why would they do that?
Why would they take carpet?
Oh no, you tell me. They didn't take anything out until the infrared was in there for over 45 minutes.
They should use thermal.
They used infrared.
But they should,
Well, they probably did the thermal too, but I don't know exactly what tools they used, but I know that they were in there for 45 minutes before they came out and got forensic testing. And then after they did the forensic testing, they came out again and got evidence boxes and bags.
Do you know what they do every day? Every time they come in there like that? They take out pictures of me on the wall of my family.
Why?
Why? It makes no sense to me. Why would you take photos of my family?
Then they obviously think that you're linked to it, Tyler.
It's my family.
They obviously think you're linked to it.
To what? What do my photos have to do with
To her not being here anymore.
the photos of my family on the wall?
To show how close she was to her children.
The photos of my family on the wall.
Yeah, I don't know why they took them. You tell me.
Why would they take this?
I don't know.
They took every photo of my family.
Why?
That's a very
DNA, maybe?
for the IRS or government, Big Brother, whatever you want to call it, to take your personal family's photos when your wife's missing.
The IRS?
Unless they have all the evidence they need to line everything up, and it's going to be part of the.
Supports taking a man's
Because usually they use them when there's a court case. For a court case.
for what?
I don't know. They use friggin' all kinds of pictures of people and their families.
All of them.
I don't know.
All of my.
Maybe someone requested the picture.
There may have been blood spatter or something on the photos. I mean, there's a million reasons why they could have taken them.
Pictures.
You think that's okay? So
No, I don't think it's okay. But they're obviously doing it for a reason, Tyler.
What reason could it be?
Because your wife's gone.
So they take the photos off my fucking walls.
Your wife is missing. Now it's a homicide, you know? Obviously they have enough evidence to say it's a homicide.
Listen to me. You must not pay attention enough, but you care enough to come out here every day and drive by my house.
I haven't been out here every day. This is my first time in the last month.
Yeah, so why is it I always see the same cars? Like these. Do you not understand how many cars?
Go back and look on your cameras because it wasn't me. I was here the day of the raid, and before that, it was 3 weeks before that. Because I videotape every time I come out here, Tyler. I am not afraid. I've been in the drug world. I know everyone.
It's not about the drug world. The drug world has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, it does because you're connected to it.
What does the drug world have to do with it?
Because you're connected to it, and I know what happens. Like the Heather Cameron case and everything.
That has nothing to do with anything.
And I'm not afraid of fucking anyone, you know?
You don't have to be.
I know I don't.
Nobody has to be. And nobody is.
There's a lot of people afraid of you.
That's ridiculous. And most people who know me would laugh at that.
Well, a lot of people are, and I don't know why.
If you know the drug world and all this common bullshit, you should know that all of these people are normal people.
I know. I'm 10 years clean. I was in it for a long time.
They do not kill people.
Some of them do.
Tell me one.
Yes, he did. What makes you say he didn't?
The stories that I hear, quite the opposite. Aren't they?
Yeah, I thought they were quite the opposite until he fucking started. Oh, you tell me.
I'm asking you. Did he do that?
Yep.
You put that on your child's life?
Oh, yeah.
You would?
Uh-huh. My children are gangsters. They don't give a shit.
That's not what I mean. You put that on your children's life.
That he did. That he was connected to Heather Cameron's case.
No, did he do that?
He was connected to Heather Cameron's case.
Did he do that?
You tell me.
Would you put your livelihood and go live in Mexico as a poor person?
Yep.
You would?
Yep. I have nothing to run from.
I'll give you that house. You did.
I have nothing to run from.
What a strange thing to say.
What?
If I can prove it to you. If he didn't.
Prove what? That he didn't?
I'll take lie detector. You take it.
Go ahead. I have nothing to hide in my life.
I'll give you that house if I don't pass. And you give up everything you own and go live in Mexico as a poor person.
For what?
You say Donnie did that to that
Mhm.
girl?
But that's getting off the topic of your
said you
wife.
bet your children's life.
That's getting off the topic of your wife.
You bet your child's life.
What about Nikki?
You said you bet
What
your
about
child's life,
Nikki?
right? Isn't that correct?
What about Nikki?
No, I'm asking you.
It doesn't matter about Donnie Stroud anymore.
Every question.
What about Nikki?
I'll answer every single question. You go in there and take lie detector.
Yeah, he was
I'm
trying
not
to.
going in your house.
I know you're recording me right now.
He kept trying to get her to go in the house. That's why she started recording.
I'm not going in your house.
And that's okay. I said I would give you that house to sell. You can do anything you want.
Where's Nikki?
Tell me that you believe that Donnie did that.
I believe Donnie was connected to Heather
You
Cameron.
did that.
I believe he was connected to it.
No, you didn't say that.
I believe he was connected to it.
I have no idea what they're talking about. They said Heather something and
What happened to Nikki?
Heather Cameron.
Why are you acting all sketched out?
I guess I'll have to.
Sketched out about what?
I went back on my word. No, I didn't.
You said Donnie killed that girl.
Donnie was connected to Heather Cameron's death. Yes. I went out on many fucking searches for Heather Cameron.
You're ignorant.
I'm not ignorant. You're ignorant. Have fun.
Right? Crazy. I think he was just trying to change the subject from what's it called? Like he was trying to get out of talking about it. They said he declined a lie detector test. I don't know how true that is because it was an anonymous person, but that's her truck, I guess. Oh, here's it. After the
At
FBI
Tyler's
raid?
place. There's still someone. He's like hiding behind a truck. I just saw his feet move. I'd get out, kayak or a boat or something. It's
Oh.
on the ground next to it now.
I thought they might show stuff from the raid. Let me see if they have a video of that. That's her truck. Highway 36. I'm going to write this down. Between Platina and Bowman Road. I want to know who has a red truck now. I'm sure somebody in this Facebook group knows. The red truck seen picking up an adult male. I hate my. Oh my gosh, I'm going to take that out. I accidentally hit the back button. Hold on. Hi, Johnny. How are you? I'm just looking real quick to see. I'm doing good. I guess his family, like Tyler's family, were like mouthing off and stuff too. Like, you know, I haven't gotten this deep in the Facebook group. I wish I did so I could like have all the stuff already for you. Oh, here we go. This is a TikTok live from me today. It's an hour long. My phone died at the end. They did take evidence out of the house. They did have infrared and forensics testing kits as well. Numerous evidence bags were taken out while I was there. They also took large black evidence bags and file boxes into the house. Before I left, they had taken items from the Range Rover in the garage area, evidence from the back of the home, side of home, carpet cleaner, and are searching more areas. I want to see if she has any more videos because she's the one who like goes by there all the time. But apparently, like, I guess his family was like saying stuff because she keeps driving by and they're saying she's like, you know, like a spy, I guess. I don't know. So an anonymous member posted on March 14th, per the SO deputy I just spoke with, they are not looking for Tyler McCain at this time. We found this out because Tyler just showed up as a passenger in the vehicle and the deputy turned them away. I informed him the passenger was Tyler and he confirmed he noticed that and wasn't interested. So I guess they thought maybe he wasn't around. I don't know. All right, I'm going to move on to Suzanne Simpson. This woman really reminds me of Suzanne Morphew a little bit. Just like, I don't know, like her husband reminds me of Barry a little bit, and she, I don't know, just gives me like, she reminds me of Suzanne a little bit. So let me tell you about her. And it's also another case with a totally shady husband. I think her husband might have been arrested. I'm not sure. So I will tell you in a minute. Just give me a second. All right. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay. Suzanne Clark Simpson. Let me get you a picture of her real quick. You didn't see my thumbnail. I have her on a thumbnail. She's very pretty. So is Nikki. They're both very pretty. That's her. That's her. She's from Texas. And I'll show you her husband and everything too once I get to read him. Suzanne Clark Simpson was born in 1973 and raised in Texas. Through specific details about her early life are sparse in public records. By 2024, she had established herself as a successful real estate agent with the Berkshire Hathaway PenFed Realty in San Antonio, specializing in residential properties in the affluent areas of Alamos Park, Alamo Heights. Known for her professionalism and community involvement, Suzanne was a member of Alamo Heights Methodist Church and a devoted mother to 4 children, ranging in age from 6 to 20, whom she shared with her husband, James Brad Simpson, a 53-year-old concrete business owner. The Simpsons resided in a $1.2 million, 4,000 square foot home at 424 East Alamos Drive in Alamos Park. Alamos Park is known for its tree-lined streets. It's a small upscale city of about 2,300 residents, entirely surrounded by San Antonio. It has historic homes and a tight-knit community, policed by its own small force, the Alamos Park Police Department. Suzanne and Brad married for over 2 decades, projected an image of stability through friends, and later revealed underlying marital tension. Suzanne was described as petite, approximately 5'5", 140 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes, often seen in professional attire reflecting her real estate career. Her disappearance shattered the quiet veneer of Alamos Park, drawing intense media scrutiny and community concern. Let me see if I can get a picture of Brad. But tell me this doesn't remind you of like the Murphy case a little bit. I don't know. That just... Not these pictures of them, but these pictures are terrible pictures of them. Here you go. I know, right? It's YouTube. That's another reason why I haven't been on YouTube lately. It's just drama all the time. Like, I miss just regular true crime. I just like talking about true crime, you know? Like, the drama gets too much and too blown out. Like, I like hearing cases and talking about cases and diving into them. And I feel like, I don't know, lately, all that, how it used to be, has gotten lost in the drama. That's him. Darn it. So he's been arrested for murder, I guess. All right, where was I? Suzanne was okay. I said that. Timeline of disappearance. On October 6, 2024, the night she vanished, Suzanne and Brad attended an event at the Argyle, a prestigious private dinner club at 934 Patterson Avenue in Alamo Heights, about 2 miles from their home. The Argyle, founded in 1955, is an exclusive venue tied to the Texas cattle industry. Known for its upscale dining and social gatherings, the couple arrived together, but by 10:11 p.m., witnesses observed them arguing outside near Brad's black 2022 GMC Sierra pickup truck in the club's parking lot. The nature of the argument remains unclear, but it was heat enough to draw attention. Around 11 p.m., a neighbor on the East Amos Drive reported hearing a continuation of the argument near the Simpsons' residence. The neighbor, standing about 100 yards away, saw Suzanne and Brad outside of their home, possibly near the driveway of the front yard. The witness described hearing a woman scream, sharp and brief, followed by silence. Moments later, Brad's black GMC Sierra was seen speeding away from the area. This was the last confirmed sighting of Suzanne alive, while her white 2022 Lincoln Navigator remained parked at the home untouched. I think she also seen her like running and him chasing her, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I read the arrest affidavit and they do mention like she saw him chasing her. And I think she tried to run through like a backyard and into like the woods in the back, something like that. October 7th, alarm rings. Suzanne's phone, typically active with family and work communications, went silent after October 6th. Her oldest daughter, Sydney, who's 20, grew worried when Suzanne didn't return home or respond to calls and texts. Sydney reported her missing to the OPPD around midday on October 7th. The family noted that Suzanne was not the type to disappear without notice, especially giving her responsibilities to her younger children, ages 6, 11, and 16. Initial police response. OPPD officers visited the Simpson home that afternoon. Brad was present and claimed he last saw Suzanne around 10:45 p.m. the previous night after their argument at the Argyle. He said she left the house on foot, upset, and he assumed she returned after cooling off. He stated he'd searched for her locally on October 7th, but found no trace. Officers noted his demeanor as calm but evasive, and a story raised immediate suspicion due to inconsistencies with witness accounts, like him being at home and him speeding off and all that. October 8th and 9, home search. On October 8th, OPPD executed a search warrant at 424 East Amos Drive. Detectives found small amounts of blood on the bathroom rug and near a trap door leading to a crawl space beneath the house. The blood source wasn't immediately identified. DNA testing was pending, but its presence suggested a possible struggle. Brad's truck was not at the residence during this search. Interesting that it was on a trap door leading to a crawl space beneath the house. Sounds like maybe he like put her there temporarily. On October 9th, Brad was apprehended in Kendall County, approximately 30 miles northwest of Amos Park, near Bourne. Kendall County Sheriff deputy pulled him over for a traffic violation while he drove his GMC Sierra. Brad allegedly assaulted the deputy during the stop, pushing or striking him, leading to his arrest. He appeared disheveled with unkempt hair and clothing and refused to answer questions about Suzanne. He was initially charged with unlawful restraint, assault causing bodily injury, family violence tied to Suzanne, assault on a peace officer, and resisting arrest. His bond was set to $2.1 million. October 11th to 14th, cell phone and trash route data. Using cell phone records and surveillance, investigators traced Brad's movements after October 6th. His phone pinged in Amos Park on October 7th, then moved towards San Antonio's outskirts. Authorities hypothesized he disposed of evidence or possibly Suzanne's body in a dumpster serviced by Waste Management. Trash from Amos Park is transported to the Tessman Road landfill. a 1,200-acre site northeast of San Antonio. From October 11th to the 14th, OPPD San Antonio Police Department and the FBI searched a specific section of the landfill using heavy machinery and cadaver dogs. Despite extensive efforts, no body or definitive evidence was recovered, though the search reinforced the theory of foul play. October 14th, they did a second home search. A second warrant was served at the Simpson home, this time with FBI assistance. Detectives seized a Glock 9mm handgun and a suppressor silencer, both illegal under Texas law without proper registration. The crawl space was further examined, revealing additional traces of blood and signs of recent disturbance. Example, moved insulation. Brad's truck, impounded after his arrest, contained unspecified items of interest, though details remain sealed. October 22nd, murder charge. The Bexar County Grand Jury indicted Brad for murder and unlawful carrying of a weapon. The murder charge was filed despite the absence of Suzanne's body, a rare but unprecedented move in Texas based on the corpus delicti argument, evidence of a crime beyond just a missing person. Key evidence included witness accounts of the argument and scream, blood in the home, Brad's flight to Kendall County and inconsistent statements, and the presence of a suppressor suggesting premeditation. His bond was increased to $3 million, reflecting the severity of the charges. December 2024, additional charges and a protective order. Brad faced 2 felony counts, tampering with evidence likely tied to disposal efforts and possession of a prohibited suppressor. A protective order was issued for the Simpson children, barring Brad from contact as Cindy and relatives took custody of the younger siblings. The family declined public comment, but a church statement expressed their grief and hope for justice. Brad's attorney, Andrew C. Gold, filed a motion to dismiss the murder charge, arguing insufficient evidence without a body or direct proof of death. The hearing was scheduled for April 15th, 2025 to determine if the case could proceed. Prosecutors countered with affidavits detailing blood evidence, witness testimony, and Brad's behavior, confident in a no-body conviction precedent. Key evidence and theories. So, physical evidence. The blood traces found in the bathroom and the crawl space. The blood was small in volume but significant placement. DNA results, if completed, have not been publicly disclosed, but its presence suggests a violent altercation. The crawl space trapdoor, rarely used per neighbors, hinted at an attempt to hide something, possibly Suzanne's body temporarily. The Glock 9mm and suppressor raised questions of intent. Suppressors are tightly regulated, and Brad lacked permits, suggesting he acquired it illicitly. While no gunshot wounds are confirmed, no body, its discovery fueled speculation of premeditated violence. His truck, impounded on October 9th, the GMC Sierra, contained items, possibly clothing, tools, or trace evidence under analysis. Its departure after the screaming appearance in Kendall County tied to the timeline. Witness testimony. Multiple attendees saw Brad and Suzanne arguing by the truck at 10:30. One witness recalled Brad raising his voice, though specific words weren't overheard due to distance and ambient noise. The neighbor, a retiree familiar with The Simpsons, described the screen as blood curling and noted Brad's truck peeling out minutes later. Unusual for the quiet street, no other vehicles or persons were reported nearby. Brad claimed Suzanne walked off after their argument, but a story unraveled. Cell phone data showed him leaving Almos Park on October 7th, not searching locally as claimed. His flight to Kendall County, a rural area where he owned property, suggested evasion. His calm initial interview contrasted with his combative arrest, hinting at an unraveling composure. Some theories are domestic violence escalation. They argued over an unknown issue. The dispute continued at home, where Brad, in a rage, killed her, possibly by strangulation, blunt force, given the blood. He hid her body in a crawl space overnight, then disposed it via dumpster October 7th. Oh, yeah, they definitely did. A suppressor and marital strain suggests Brad planned the act. He may have lured Suzanne outside after the Argyle killed her and used his concrete business knowledge to dispose of her permanently. The landfill implies authorities believe Brad dumped her body in a residential bin collected on October 7th's regular route. Alternatively, Brad may have transported her to his property in Kendall County, burying her in its 10 plus acres of wooded land. His arrest there supports this theory. The no search results have been publicized. So there was something about his friend. He had a business partner. Let me see. If I can find. He had a business partner that a lot of people think helped him. There was some kind of. Okay, so James Val is his business. James Val Cotter. James Val Cotter, age 65, a San Antonio-based businessman with a long-standing professional relationship with Brad Simpson. Cotter resides in the Dominion, an upscale gated community in San Antonio, known for its luxury homes and high-profile residents. Background checks reveal that Cotter and Simpson have been partners in multiple real estate and construction-related ventures, most notably through Cotter's company, Cotter & Sons, Inc., where Simpson served as a manager. This company, tied to concrete and property development, reflects Brad's own business interests as owner of the concrete firm. Cotter's personal life is less documented, but court records from 2025 indicate he has an in-law in Edmond, Oklahoma, suggesting family ties outside Texas. Physically, Cotter is described as a white male, approximately 5'10", medium build based on general arrest and court appearance descriptions. Cotter and Simpson's partnership spans at least a decade. Cotter & Sons, Inc., shared ventures. They collaborated on various real estate deals. Text messages from October 8th reveal a deep personal connection. Cotter referred to Simpson as my brother, and Simpson relied on Cotter as a confidant during a crisis, suggests there's trust beyond mere business ties. His involvement in the Simpson case. Cotter's role in the investigation emerged after Suzanne Simpson's disappearance on October 6th. He became a significant figure due to his actions following her vanishing, leading to his arrest and charges. Here's what's known. On October 8th, 2024, incriminating text. 2 days after Suzanne's last sighting, Brad Simpson texts Cotter saying, "If you're in Bandera, can you haul ass and meet me at your house? I don't have much time." Another message read, "Okay, make sure to leave all that shit in the pump house, especially that gun." Followed by, "Sorry for the urgency, but you're all I got, especially now. Social media is destroying me." I don't think it's in a totally secluded area because the neighbor was able to see that fight, Lori. Sorry, I'm talking. Been talking so long, my throat's starting to get dry. So he says, "Sorry for the urgency, but you're all I got, especially now, brother. Social media is destroying me." And Cotter responded, "Get over here. I won't tell anyone, and you're my brother." These exchanges, obtained via Cotter's consent to a phone search by Texas Rangers, suggest he was aware of Simpson's distress and potentially complicit in hiding evidence. He told him to leave that shit at the pump house, especially that gun. I mean, maybe he thought, like, maybe what's his name said to him, like, people are blaming me for this and I didn't do it, but I have this gun and they're going to, maybe like the guy believed that he was innocent and was like, all right, I'll help you hide it. You know what I mean? Like, because he might have said, like, they're going to use it against me. I don't know, but it's still weird. October 8th, the AK-47 Amos Park Department alleged that Cotter, at Simpson's urging, removed an illegally modified AK-47 from a walk-in safe room at Simpson's home and hid it at his Dominion residence. The firearm, described as a Chinese-manufactured AK-47 modified into a machine gun, fully automatic, was found concealed behind a TV mounted in Cotter's bedroom during a search on October 21st. Federal law requires such weapons to be registered under National Firearms Act, which this one was not, adding a prohibited weapons charge. Cotter was arrested by Texas Rangers and OPPD at his home, charged with tampering with evidence with intent to impair an investigation, which is third-degree felony, and possession of a prohibited weapon, which is a third-degree felony. The arrest came 2 weeks after Suzanne's disappearance and 12 days after Simpson's initial arrest on October 9th. Cotter's bond was set to $1 million. Cotter's attorney, Mark Stevens, claimed Cotter was held in a Bexar County jail holding cell for 5 days without proper meals or showers, alleging coercion by District Attorney Joe Gonzalez and Sheriff Javier Salazar to extract cooperation. This sparked early legal friction. A judge reduced Cotter's bond from $1 million to $100,000 after Stevens argued the original amount was unconstitutional. His bond conditions are fitted with a GPS monitor, barred from contacting Brad Simpson, and prohibited from possessing firearms. These terms reflect authorities view him as a flight risk or potential threat to the investigation. On December 17th, 2024, they indicted Cotter on tampering and weapons charges, solidifying his role in the case. This coincided with the additional charges against Simpson, including concealing a reciprocating saw with Suzanne's DNA. So they found a reciprocating saw with her DNA on it. Cotter's attorney successfully requested permission for him to travel to Edmond, Oklahoma to visit an in-law, showing he remains under strict supervision. Cotter filed motions to suppress evidence from his arrest, including statements, intercepted communication, and physical items like the AK-47, arguing potential violations of his rights. These motions, reported by local media like KABB Fox 29, indicate a defense strategy to challenge the prosecution's case. He's out on bond, living under GPS monitoring, and preparing for trial. His next court date isn't specified, but his legal team's recent activity suggests an aggressive push to weaken the case against him. He has not been charged with murder or directly linked to Suzanne's death. They think he may have been an accessory after the fact. Authorities believe Cotter aided Simpson by hiding the AK-47, possibly to protect his friend or out of loyalty. The gun's relevance to Suzanne's death is unclear. Blood evidence in the home points to a struggle, but no gunshot wounds are confirmed without a body. Simpson's frantic texts imply Cotter knew something significant had happened. His willingness to hide a weapon reassures Simpson, "I won't tell anyone," suggests he may have suspected foul play, though no evidence shows he witnessed the October 6th events. Given their shared concrete business ties, could he have helped him dispose of her? Although there's no concrete evidence to support that. Martin Tinsley's. Yeah, they do got a good bit of evidence for sure. I mean, they're going to need to without a body, you know. And it sounds like if they found a reciprocating saw with her DNA on it, that's not good. It sounds like he dismembered her, possibly. So there was, I just seen there was an update 2 weeks ago. After a month-long delay, Brad Simpson to be in court for wife's murder case. Prosecutors still appear to be unprepared for motion to quash the murder charge against Brad Simpson, the Amos Park husband and father of four, accused of killing his wife Suzanne Simpson. Apparently, investigators are compiling thousands of pages and hours of video against the husband. Hours of video. I'm interested what that is. I don't know. Maybe it's interview video. But the judge is set to decide whether it's enough to move on a murder charge in April. On Wednesday, March 19th, Simpson's public defender, Steve Gilmore, and Bexar County prosecutors convened before a state district court judge to talk about how the evidence exchange was going. Gilmore said he was being kept in the loop better by Texas Rangers, who prosecutors say are still investigating the allegation of murder against Simpson. His wife's body, after all, has still not been found despite numerous excavation and search efforts from San Antonio well into the Texas Hill Country. Now, roughly 30 days from Wednesday, prosecutors will share what they've got against Simpson, and the 437th State District Court judge will decide if it's enough. Oh, so they're having a preliminary hearing, or what's it called? An evidentiary hearing. Well, I'd like to hear that. They said 30 days from Wednesday. I don't know what Wednesday was. The 19th, I think. So April 19th, probably. If there's a month-long delay, Brad Simpson is set to go before a judge Wednesday, March 19th. And hear what they said on March 19th he'll go and hear what evidence has been stacked against him. So do they have an update from the hearing? So this is from 7 days ago. Texas court weighs husband's request to have the murder. A Texas court will consider a bid from Suzanne Simpson's husband, the suspect in her disappearance and death, to have his murder charge thrown out next month. Steve Gilmore, Brad Simpson's attorney, said during Wednesday's court he thinks he has enough evidence to proceed with the motion to quash the indictment charging Brad with murder, tampering with evidence, prohibited weapons possession. Brad is now scheduled to appear in court on April 22nd at 9 a.m. Wednesday hearing was scheduled from February when both prosecutors and Simpson's... Okay, so April 22nd at 9 a.m. they're doing it. Oh, they had their 5-year-old daughter with them at the party. After the party, Suzanne and her daughter apparently went to a grocery store and arrived at their home soon afterward. Later that evening, Suzanne called her family friend to tell her she was stopping by, and then called her mother to tell her that Brad had assaulted and injured her. Okay, so let's go back to this. They were at the Argyle. After the party, her and her daughter go to a grocery store. And when they come home afterwards, then later that night, she calls a family friend to say she's stopping by. And then she calls her mom and tells her mom that Brad had assaulted and injured her. Around 10 p.m., the family friend's neighbor reported seeing Brad and Suzanne arguing loudly and physically struggling in front of the house. The neighbor observed Suzanne attempting to get away from Mr. Simpson's grasp as he tried to pull her downwards. Why did the neighbor call 911? The neighbor also observed Brad chasing after his wife and trying to grab her. The neighbor later heard screams coming from the wooded area across from her home. After about 1 hour after witnessing Suzanne and Brad fighting in front of his home, the neighbor saw Brad's truck leave and then return an hour later. So you heard a blood-curdling scream and seeing him try and physically pull her down. You didn't call 911? The next day, surveillance footage from various locations around San Antonio allegedly captured Brad driving his truck with trash bags, a heavy-duty trash can, an ice chest, and a large, bulky item wrapped and secured in a blue tarp that was held down by a firewood rack in the back. But security footage from later that day captured Brad at a gas station. The white trash bags were no longer visible in his truck. He was apparently seen purchasing two bags of cement, a construction bucket with a box of heavy-duty trash bags, Clorox spray, and insect repellent with cash at a nearby Home Depot. Later that day, after picking his daughter up from school, he was seen washing his truck. If that's not freaking shady, I don't know what is. He has all the stuff in the car. Obviously, he put her somewhere and filled it with concrete. That's just like very similar to like a lot of the theories with the Barry Morphew case, how he was doing like concrete work at the one house and they thought that he had, like, I wonder if he had any concrete jobs going on since he owned a contracting business. They should look into the recent jobs he had done like they did with Barry. Suzanne Friend reported her missing on the evening October 7th when police contacted Brad about his wife's disappearance. He allegedly told him that he had not seen her since the 6th around 11 p.m. He exchanged texts with his business partner, Bandair, which I already read to you. Get over here. I won't tell anyone you're my brother. He was charged with tampering evidence. Authorities arrested Brad Simpson on October 9th and Cotter on the 21st. The next day, investigators found a ground-level burn site with a burnt laptop and multiple cellular devices on Simpson's property in Bandera County. They also searched his truck and identified stains that tested presumptively positive for blood, which were tested and determined to be Brad's blood. In December, Bexar County Criminal District Attorney Joe Gonzalez announced via press release that Simpson had concealed a reciprocating saw 2 days after his wife's disappearance, and authorities informed family members that her DNA had been identified on the saw. Crazy. Let's see if I can find any updated. I know they had pictures of his truck with this stuff in it. Oh, here's James Cotter. Let me show you this guy. Oh my goodness. They don't look like they would be friends. Yeah, harder cases have definitely been tried. I think they got a lot for this. Like, a lot. I still cannot believe that if that person saw all that stuff, why wouldn't you call 911? I don't know. Maybe they were scared. Or maybe it's like they've seen them fight before and it was just like, oh, I don't know. Maybe she didn't think he was capable of that because they've been together for a long time. So that's James Cotter, this dude, his brother. So they found the burn pit, right? Here we go. He did not appear surprised at the time of the arrest, noting he had cuts and bruises on his arms and hands. He also appeared unconcerned and showed little emotion about her disappearance. Authorities executed a search warrant on the couple's home on October 9th and found 3 cell phones and a laptop from a burn pit. All of the phones belonged to Brad, the affidavit states. 2 notes recovered from one of the phones were titled, "This Next Life," and "Last Will and Testament." So he wrote this stuff in a phone, I guess. He also confessed and apologized in the notes for assaulting his wife in August of 2023 and again on October 6th. So he confessed to assaulting her. Authorities said they also found 1 bag of cement, a box of heavy-duty black trash bags, a heavy-duty trash can, and a metal firewood rack. Police interviewed Suzanne's personal banker, to whom she had allegedly confided about her husband's physical abuse. Brad often took her cell phone away from her, the banker said. Suzanne had allegedly told the banker that if she went missing to look for her in a lake. Family friend told cops Suzanne knew her extremely jealous husband tracked her phone. The affidavit also reveals details about the conversations between Brad and his former business partner, James Cotter. Meet me at your house. I'll be there in 40 minutes. Okay, make sure you leave all that shit in the pump house. Get over here. I won't tell anyone. During a virtual court appearance for Child Protective Services, Brad told the court he had last spoken to his wife around 10:30 on October 6th. He also said that Suzanne was likely in Austin with her sorority sisters because it was her happy place, before his attorney told him to stop talking. He was talking too much. I remember there being pictures of his truck with stuff in it. I'm trying to see if I can find it. And his daughter, the 20-year-old daughter, the eldest daughter of missing Texas real estate agent Suzanne Clark Simpson, has bluntly accused her father of killing her for trying to leave him. My mom was a victim of abuse from my father, Chander Simpson wrote in a series of Instagram messages shared by the San Antonio Express News on Wednesday, exactly a month after her 51-year-old mom was last seen during a violent fight at home. My father took my mother's life in a state of rage and control. She claimed Brad Simpson, who had been charged in domestic violence and tampering evidence. My mother tried to leave my father and lost her life, the grieving daughter alleged. Simpson and Mama Ford vanished on October 6th after she was overheard fighting with her husband at their home in Amos Park. Just an hour before she went missing, Simpson complained about being physically abused by her husband, according to her own mom, who believes her daughter is dead. Chandler accused people of turning a blind eye to domestic violence. Facts, the neighbor. In our community, this should not have been happening, and I will not stop speaking as the voice of my mother until she is found. I will forever represent all victims of domestic abuse and assault, she wrote. This is the time to speak. Speak for my mom. Speak for yourself. Your voice will be heard. My mom fought for her life, fought for her family and herself. Her father, a local property tycoon, was arrested. Neighbors heard them fighting outside. Chandler called for anyone who stands with her mother to please be present when her dad is in court Wednesday. Stand with us in silence for my mom. Justice will be served. My mom will be brought home. They were married for 22 years. With every breath, I will make sure to remember her name. Suzanne Simpson was a victim of abuse and a victim of this community. Beyond being a victim, she was a phenomenal mother, hardworking, driven, loving, and kind. Oh, that's sad. Could you imagine, like, being the daughter and, like, knowing your dad killed your mom? That's just awful. Here's the reciprocating saw thing. DNA from missing Texas mother Suzanne Simpson has been found on a handsaw that was hidden from police by a real estate tycoon husband who's been charged with a murder, and a massive evidentiary development was included in the indictment against Brad. A handheld reticulating saw that contained some manner of Susan's DNA was listed in the indictment, with the authorities saying Simpson sought to knowingly conceal the saw to hinder the investigation into his wife's disappearance. That's shady if he tried to hide it. He tried to hide the AK. I know there was a picture of this truck with the stuff in the back, and it's pissing me off because I can't find it. Like, they literally had a picture of the truck that he was driving, like the back with the bags in it. Like, they had video pictures of it. I mean, at this point, he should just, like, confess, like, doing this to his family and his daughter. Let me do. I don't know why I'm searching on Yahoo. Search Google. Oh, it might be on here. No, this is just a regular picture of the truck. Maybe they, like, got rid of it and, like, took it off the internet. I don't know. It was there. Maybe it was in the affidavit. Do they share pictures in some affidavits? I might have seen it. Here it is. I got the affidavit. We can look through it real quick. I swear, I always plan to go live for like a half hour, and then it always turns into like some 3-hour thing. I get way too into this shit, and then like 3 hours later, I'm going down a whole rabbit hole, even though I've already been through most of it, but it's like going over the whole case again. Okay. His belief that the offense of murder under Texas Penal Code was committed on or about October 6th. On October 7th, while off duty, your affiant received a call from Sergeant Blank, a Texas certified peace officer, stating patrol officers were actively working on a missing person case in Amos Park. Your affiant was given brief synopsis of the case. Defendant lives with his wife, Suzanne, and 2 of their minor children, ages 5 and 15 years old, at the residence. Don't they have a 11-year-old, a 16? Where's the third child? There was a third child. Did the third child not live with them? They said 4 kids, right? I'm not crazy. I don't know, Lori. I mean, I'll try to come on more. I can do it. It's just a lot. Like, to work full time and then come home and I got to do homework. And like this weekend, I don't have kids. So my son's at his dad's and Ava is with her grandma because she had a party. She was supposed to come, but she has a party. So I don't have any kids this weekend. And I think I won't have any kids next weekend. So I'll probably do it again. I mean, I could try and come on a little more. My problem is I can't do quick lives. Like I can't do like a half hour, which would be fine if I could do it. But then yeah, no, but like if I could come on and do like an hour show, it'd be fine. But I just can't do it. I come on and I get too into it. And then next thing I know, it's like 4 hours later and like 2:00 in the morning and I have to be up at 5. So if I could do like an hour, it would be so much easier. But I'm a psychopath. I'm like, let's just keep talking and looking into shit because I can't help myself. Maybe I have to like put a timer on and be like, stop now. Wherever you are, you'll have to continue it on the next live. All right, where was I? Your affiant received information from Officer Blank, a Texas certified peace officer, who told me that he learned from Blank, a credible and a reliable person, that friends of Suzanne Simpson met to discuss her disappearance on the evening of 10/7. Blank called the defendant on 10/7 with her concerns about Suzanne Simpson's disappearance. Defendant had not called the police nor 911. So if somebody called the husband with their concerns, Suzanne Simpson's disappearance, defendant had not called the police or 911. Blank informed the defendant that she was going to call the police. Your affiant learned, I wonder when he texted, what day it was when he texted the neighbor, because he said, I don't have much time. So if he knew that this lady was calling the police, this might have like heightened his like, okay, I don't have that much time. They're going to be looking into it. Your affiant learned from Alamo Heights Dispatch that Blank initially contacted the police on 10/7 at 9:57 p.m. to report Suzanne Simpson missing. Your affiant later learned from Amos police chief that Blank, that defendant called at 10:11 p.m. and left a voicemail for Chief Blank after Blank reported Suzanne missing. Sergeant Blank told your affiant that initial reporting officers stated that upon contacting the defendant as a resident, the defendant reported that he had not heard from his wife, Suzanne, since Sunday the 6th at 11 p.m. Sorry, it's probably hard to see because maybe I can do this. You probably still can't see it. I think that's as big as it's going to get. On 10/8, you spoke to your affiant spoke to Officer Blank and Officer Blank, both testified peace officers. Both officers provided information regarding the missing female identified as Suzanne Clark Simpson. Officer Blank stated he had been in contact with Blank, a friend of Suzanne, throughout the night and gathered information for his report. It's all blacked out for some reason. I guess they don't want us to know what that is. They're good. They're good, Johnny. Your affiant later reviewed body cam footage from the initial report at the Simpson residence. Your affiant observed a defendant claim that Suzanne lost her cell phone while at a local HEB prior to coming home on the evening of 10/6. Oh, so she suddenly lost her cell phone, or he disposed of it. On 10/8 at 9 a.m., your affiant listened to a phone conversation that between Alamos Park Police and the defendant. The defendant said he had seen his wife the morning of 10/7 at approximately 6:30 a.m. as she was leaving to drop off his child at school. The defendant stated he peeked into a separate room and observed his wife asleep. That contradicts the statement about not seeing his wife when he initially spoke to patrol officers on the night of 10/7. So, the first night he said, I didn't see her. I haven't seen her since 11 o'clock on 10/6. And then the second statement, he's saying, I did see her the next morning asleep while I was taking my kid to school. It seems like to me, something happened between them. He put her body in the crawl space, cleaned up, took his kid to school the next morning, and then in a panic that day started doing stuff while the kids were gone. On 10/8, which would have been the day of the 7th. And then they reported her missing the night of the 7th, it seems. So we had all day of the 7th to get shit done. On 10/8, your affiant spoke with Blank, who is a Texas certified peace officer, a Texas Ranger, is assisting in this investigation. He told me that he spoke with so-and-so, a credible and reliable person. They stated she witnessed defendant and Suzanne Simpson engage in a verbal altercation while at a party at the Argyle, located at blank the address out. On the evening of 10/6, your affiant also learned from officer that the Simpsons attended the party at the Argyle Club. Through interviews and information obtained from the other officers, your affiant determined that on the evening of 10/6, Suzanne Simpson and her daughter left the party at approximately 8:30 at the Argyle and went to the HEB at blank blank. They were there from 8:40 to 8:51. According to surveillance footage from the HEB, your affiant believed that Suzanne Simpson and her daughter arrived at the residence shortly after. So at 9:15, so they get home at 8:51. Then at 9:15, she calls a family friend to say she was coming over. They reviewed surveillance video from the Allen Heights Police Department, which shows Suzanne Simpson vehicle arriving at the blank residence at 9:25. So she went to a friend's house, I'm guessing. At 9:16, she called her mother to report that the defendant had just assaulted her and causing pain to her arm, back, and neck. The duration of the call was from 9:16 to 9:24. So he assaulted her when they got home from the HEB, and then she immediately called the family friend and said, I'm coming over, because I guess she wanted to get out of the house. And then she called her mom while she was there. Or unless they were saying she arrived at her own residence at 9:25. But they say at 8:51 she arrived at her. Okay, so it had to be the friend's house. She went to the friend's house at 9:25. They later learned from Suzanne's cell phone carrier that her device was suspended on 10/6 at approximately 9:16 p.m. at the request of the subscriber. A review of the defendant's phone records indicate the defendant accessed the AT&T application at the same time Suzanne Simpson's service was suspended. This contradicts the defendant's initial statements about Suzanne Simpson losing her phone. Okay, so he went and turned her phone off right after she left. I guess so she couldn't call people. On 10/8, your affiant conducted a non-custodial interview of blank, who resides on blank, directly across the street from the Simpson residence. She determined that blank was found to be credible and reliable. She witnessed blank and Suzanne, defendant and Suzanne, loudly arguing after 10 p.m. on Sunday. So I guess she comes back home after maybe he turns her phone off to get her going, right? Then she comes home and they're arguing in the front yard of the residence, because it seems like she didn't stay at the family friends long. And, you know, she's got the kids at home, so she probably turned her phone off and she's probably like, what the fuck? Blank stated he saw the defendant and Suzanne Simpson physically struggling with each other. She stated that Suzanne broke free from the defendant's grasp and ran away in a westerly direction. She stated the defendant started running after Suzanne and was trying to grab her. They stated he later lost sight of them as they exited his yard. So they were in the yard. He stated he went inside the house to get a flashlight and came back outside and told me he later heard screams coming from the wooded area across from his home. Blank stated that approximately 1 hour later, he heard the defendant's truck start up and depart the area, and he later heard the defendant's truck return 1 hour later. So where did he go for an hour? Tools, maybe? They were in the wooded area. So it sounds like maybe he had a gun on him or had something and killed her in the wooded area. Affiant learned from the Department of Public Safety Criminal Analyst, FBI, following the defendant intentionally engaged in a series of on-off cycles to include complete shutdowns of a cellular device preventing data collection beginning on 10/6 at 11:09. So he turns off this phone so he can't track them at 11:09. So sounds like she's dead by 11:09. So we'll make it around like that as a time of death. He shut down his phone in a manner rarely seen, referred to as lockdown mode. FBI forensic examiners define lockdown as the shutdown of a cell phone done by a person who wants to avoid detection. And it seems like if he didn't Google lockdown mode and just shut down his phone, that he had already researched this stuff before. On 10/11/2024, he learned from Texas Ranger Perez that he obtained and reviewed location data from both the defendant's cell phone and the vehicle. He noted that this is the same vehicle the defendant was driving during the time she went missing. On that same date, 10/11, he learned from Texas Blank that he obtained surveillance video from Blank located in Blank, Texas. He later reviewed these videos with Texas Ranger and observed that on 10/7 at 7:53 a.m., the defendant's black GMC was observed at school dropping off his kid. Upon further review of the video, he observed the defendant's truck bed area contained at least 2 white trash bags with red strings that appeared to be in what appeared to be a large ice chest in the back of the truck when he took the kid to school. That's sick. On 10/12, he learned from Texas Ranger Blank he obtained surveillance footage from the HEB located at Blank, San Antonio. The defendant and his truck were observed on surveillance footage. He observed that on 10/7 at 12:33 a.m., the defendant's truck bed is clear of any cargo at this time besides the large ice chest. So the bags are gone by 12:33 a.m. on the 8th, does he mean? Because they were in the back of the truck at 7:53 a.m. on the 7th. So I'm guessing he means midnight the next day. On 10/14, Affiant learned from Texas Blank that on 10/7 at approximately 9:12 a.m., defendant's vehicle was seen on a drive-through camera at Whataburger located at Blank. Defendant purchased food items at this location via his debit card. Upon reviewing the video, he observed the following items in the defendant's truck bed. All right, so 9/12, he has 3 white trash bags, a large gray heavy-duty trash can, an ice chest, a large bulky item wrapped and secured in a blue tarp with a silver in color metal firewood rack placed on top of the blue tarp in a manner to conceal and weigh the tarp down. Upon further observation of the blue tarp, Affiant believes that there is an unknown object concealed within the blue tarp due to its shape and size. It's being secured by a strap rope. Afghan's training experience and past investigation, Afghans aware criminals will commonly conceal, transport, and disguise their victims in a manner described above to purposely avoid detection by law enforcement. So I wonder if he left and got tools, and while the kids were asleep, like dismembered her in the crawl space thingy, or just temporarily hid her there until he could. Or maybe he had items in the crawl space. They said they found blood in the house, which seemed like there could have been an altercation, but it sounds to me like it could have happened outside. Graphian learned from Texas blank. The cell phone geolocation data showed the defendant at or near Home Depot at 9:53 a.m., capturing the defendant purchasing 2 bags of Quikrete cement. So 9:53 a.m. So we got food at Whataburger at 9:12. Then 41 minutes later, he's at Home Depot buying concrete. He bought concrete, cement, Quikrete cement, an orange Home Depot construction bucket to mix the cement with a lid, a box of 32-count heavy-duty trash bags, 1 bottle of 30-ounce Clorox disinfectant spray, and insect repellent. So obviously he's going out somewhere in the woods. Or a really insecty. She said if he was going to dispose of her, to look in a lake. What if he went to like a lake area and weighed her body down with cement? Graphian learned from Texas Blank that with the assistance of the FBI, they located an unknown male in Home Depot parking lot that was observed speaking with the defendant prior to his purchase. They learned that the unknown male is identified as Blank. The guy randomly came up to him in the parking lot and asked for directions to the nearest dump site. Using Blank's cellular device, not the defendant's cellular device, Affiant notes that during this time, the defendant intentionally shuts off his cellular device. So he turns off his phone right after he leaves Home Depot. Oh, they got a lot on this dude. This is good circumstantial evidence. He buys all this stuff that he could, hide her body with, and turns his phone off. It was captured on a license plate reader at 10:07 a.m. after Home Depot transaction. This photograph clearly shows the same items observed in the Whataburger surveillance camera from a different vantage point. The box of trash bags that the defendant purchased appears to be in the truck bed as well. He intentionally entered an on-off cycle of the cellular device to include a lockdown mode after departing Home Depot. Crime analysts at vehicle location data obtained from the defendant's vehicle captured his vehicle in 10-7 near Blank in Kendall County, Texas. Your Affiant learned a surveillance video from a nearby business in the area of waste site captured defendant's vehicle driving away from the waste site. So wait, did the defendant ask for directions, or the guy? The defendant randomly came up to a guy in the parking lot and asked for directions to the nearest dump in Beaumont. All right. So he asked a guy at Home Depot where the nearest dump site is. So he takes the items to a dump site. I don't think he dumped her body there. I think he took all of the evidence stuff. So he talks to that guy, puts his phone in lockdown mode. And they catch him driving away from a nearby business in the area of the waste site. So he was near the waste site. So sounds like he went to the waste site. And then He's at the Valero Stripes gas station at 11:15 a.m. He arrives there after departing the waste site. So it's like he gets to the waste site probably like almost like 40 minutes later, maybe. Maybe less. Maybe it took him long to dump the stuff. He observed a surveillance video of the defendant utilizing his debit card to purchase gasoline for his truck. He later purchased 2 one-gallon jugs of water. On further review of the surveillance, white trash bags are now missing from the defendant's truck bed. So he threw out the trash bags, which probably had all the evidence, like all the cleanup stuff, whatever. But the blue tarp, firewood rack, and trash can are still present. He changed, further review of surveillance footage, he changed footwear from black in color men's sandals into dark colored cowboy style boots. All right, so now he's wearing sandals and he changes into boots. So clearly he's going in a hard to reach area. It sounds like, yeah, trash dump site. Yeah. So he went to a dump and he threw out the white trash bags that were in the back of the car, which probably had all of the cleanup evidence, I'm assuming. But when he left there, they were gone, but he still had the blue tarp, which they believe is her body, and the big trash can. I don't know what the big trash can's for. Maybe her bot. Oh, and there was an ice bucket too. So after he leaves there, he heads westbound from Bourne, Kendall Candy, into Bandera on 10-7. And notes a blue tarp with the fire rack on top of it remain in defendant's truck bed. So Bandera is where he was headed, where he talked to the friend, right? Was that on 10-7 when he texted the guy? I don't remember what date it was. He never reported her missing. Her friend reported her missing. All right, so he took the kids from school to the school next morning, and her friend reported her missing that night. So he had all day on the 7th to dispose of her, which clearly he was doing. And they started worrying about her later that night. So he had her gone already. So if he texted his friend on the 7th when he was heading into Bandera, because he said something about Bandera being there in 40 minutes, and he said, leave that stuff at the pump house or whatever. So if he did text a friend on the 7th, at some point, the female who couldn't get a hold of Suzanne calls him and says to him that she's concerned about Suzanne and she's going to call the cops. And I wonder if that's when he texted his friend and said, I don't have much time. All right, so he travels westbound through Bandera County into Medina, Bandera County, Texas. He notes the defendant intentionally entered an on and off cycle of a cellular device while traveling towards Medina, Bandera County, Texas. He learned from Texas Ranger that he was told by Company Blank that he was able to obtain surveillance footage which showed the defendant's vehicle in Medina, Bandera County, Texas on 10-7. Affiant learned from the Texas Ranger he was advised by Texas Ranger Blank that the defendant's vehicle remained in Medina for approximately 13 minutes prior to heading eastbound back into Kendall County, Texas. 13 minutes is pretty fast, though. Huh. The video cams contain located surveillance showing headed westbound Burn. Traveling westbound in Madera County into Medina. He turned off his phone while traveling towards Medina, and he was in Medina for 13 minutes prior to heading eastbound back into Kendall County. His truck was captured via a license plate reader on 10/7 at 1:41 p.m. entering Bourne, Kendall County, Texas, from Bandera County. And the blue tarp is no longer visible, and the fire rack is now repositioned within the truck bed. So by 1:41, it's gone when he's headed back. And the last known time we had was, I think, 11 something. 11:15 a.m. he was at the dump site. And then he travels from the dump site to the gas station, right? Okay, so at 11:15 he arrived at the gas station when the stuff's still in there. And he leaves the gas station and heads westbound from Bourne into Bandera. I wonder how long it takes to get to these places. I have to look this up. And he's going through westbound into Bandera and then into Medina. And when he's going through Medina, he turned off his phone. But he's only in Medina for 13 minutes. So he does something really fast. So he had a plan. I don't know if the guy, maybe his friend met him there, and that's why it was so quick. But whatever he did, unless he just temporarily put her somewhere and then went back later. Because 13 minutes is pretty fast. But I guess if you work in concrete. But that's the other thing. Concrete takes a while to dry, I would think, unless you got like some kind of super fast drying concrete. But that would make me think more like he probably put her in like a hole and filled it with concrete rather than like dumping her in a lake, because I feel like that concrete would need time to like harden before you could do that. And 13 minutes is pretty fast. I don't know. Unless he mixed it like prior. And they didn't mention that. Or like in the car or something. I don't know. You wouldn't be able to do that. You would need like something to mix it. I just don't think you'd be able to do it that quick. 13 minutes is short. Like, I feel like maybe this was like a temporary thing until he could get back out there. He was observed at 3:27 p.m. The truck bed was clear, the blue tarp and metal firewood rack, and he had the ice chest and a large. The defendant's truck bed had the ice chest and a large gray heavy-duty trash can, which were both visible. So at 3:27, so he enters Bourne, and the tarp is gone, and the ice chest and trash can are still there. Then so I think when they seen him at 3:27, he was picking up the kid from school, because they do say after picking the kids up from school in one of the articles that he went to the car wash. So he picked the kid up from school, and that's where they noticed that it was clear, the blue tarp in the rack. And then he goes at the car wash and is cleaning the driver front side and the rear left passenger side of the passenger compartment. Where's the passenger compartment? Dried cement splashes were later located in the rear passenger compartment of the vehicle to include in the truck bed. Your affiant also observed a photograph that showed a 30-ounce Clorox bottle located within the rear passenger compartment of the vehicle. The truck bed contained only the ice chest with no other items that were observed in previous surveillance videos. Okay, so this is what it sounds like to me. I don't know what the rear passenger compartment is. Do they mean like the back of the truck, like in the back seat? If they mean in the back seat, it sounded like he mixed the concrete in the back seat so nobody would see him doing it. And then maybe, because they said there were splashes back there, maybe while he was driving up there, it hardened by the time he got there. That was the only thing I could think of that he would be able to do that. Like, he would have to do it like inside the truck before he got there, which would be really hard to do, but I guess if you're trying to hide, I guess you could. But unless they're talking about the truck bed, like a rear passenger truck bed, but I don't know what compartment means. On 10/10, they conducted a non-custodial interview of Blank at his residence. Later observed text messages on his cell phone capturing the following communication. So this is the next day. He texted his friend, "If you're in Bandera, can you haul ass and meet me at your house? You don't have much time." All right, so that makes sense. Sounds like he temporarily left her somewhere and then went back the next day because the friend said she was going to call the cops. Like, she called him and said, "Hey, I don't know where she is. I'm worried about her. I'm calling the cops." So he probably was like, "Oh shit, let me dump her here temporarily and head back home, because if I'm not home and I'm somewhere else, they're going to think it's stranger and start looking into me." So I think he drove back home real quick and left her temporarily with all the stuff that he needed, like the concrete and everything. I think he mixed the concrete and had everything ready and then went back to Bandera. That's what it sounds like to me, because Bandera is where he turned off his phone, well, into Medina. And then he turned off his phone and he went back. Now, he said, "If you're in Bandera, can you haul ass and meet me at your house," which is right near Medina, supposedly. "I'll be there in 40 minutes. And they said, "Okay, make sure and leave all that shit into the pump house, especially the gun." So this was before his arrest. On the night of 10, so he's arrested on the 9th. The night of 10/8, they obtained an arrest warrant for him. So he knew, I don't have that much time. She's a missing person. We got in a fight. Shit was seen. I gotta hide this body. Let me call my friend. I need help. He left the body somewhere. The guy probably went and met him and helped him. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like on the 7th. So on the 7th is when he planned to go hide her body, right? So he goes to Home Depot. He goes to the dump, whatever. Then, and he also has to pick up his kid from school. So keep that in mind. He gets to Medina. It's like 1 something. He probably don't have much time to hide her body. So he probably leaves her in a temporary spot. He's like, I don't have much time. Hence why he was only there for 13 minutes, right? And he goes to pick this kid up from school. And he knows he doesn't have that much time because the friend's like, "I'm going to call the cops." So he's got to be around. Then on 10/8, obviously, it sounds like he may have taken the kid to school again. Then texts his friend like, "Hey, dude." Oh, this is 4:35. So no, this is after he picked his kid up from school. So he's like, "I don't have that much time." So he knows something's going on. He knows they're on to him. The friend might have said something to him about his mother-in-law. They knew something was going on because she called her mom. So he knows they're going to come get him. He knows he don't have that much time. So that's why he's like, "I don't have much time. Come on, let's go." Sounds like he probably asked him to help him get rid of her, in my opinion. Or unless he got rid of her and then he needed to hide other stuff. But I don't know. That just, you don't say all that stuff. All right. So on the night of the 8th, they get arrest warrant for him. He was arrested in Kendall County, Texas for his active warrants in the early morning hours of Wednesday. He learned from Texas Ranger that the defendant did not appear surprised at the time of his arrest, nor did he question why he's being arrested. He conducted a custodial interview of the defendant and observed numerous lacerations and bruises on the defendant's hands and arms. That kind of sounds like maybe he strangled her. Your affiant learned from Texas Ranger that the defendant again claimed to him that Suzanne Simpson had lost her phone at the HEB on Sunday. He learned from Texas Ranger that the defendant appeared unconcerned about his wife being missing and showed little to no emotion. He invoked his right to counsel after being questioned about the physical altercation that occurred between them. So he said he wanted a lawyer. They executed a search warrant at the defendant's known residence, and they observed an indentation located on the wall at the bottom of the stairway of the residence. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. The little girl, like the 6-year-old, told the police or somebody that he threw mommy into a wall, if I remember correctly. Your affiant later interviewed Simpson's housekeeper, confirmed to your affiant that she worked at Simpson residence on 10/7. She asked Rodriguez to identify the type of trash bag that Simpson would utilize. She described the trash bags as white in color with red handles. They learned from the Almost Public Works Division that Simpsons utilized trash service to the city, and their normal pickup days is Monday. Later that afternoon on 10/9, Rangers executed a search warrant at his property at blank. He learned from Texas Rangers that they had located a ground-level burn site with a burnt laptop, multiple cellular devices, and noted that on 10/8, a Bandera County Sheriff's Office deputy had contacted the defendant at the property while he was standing by the active fire. That 3 cell phones recovered from the burn pit were identified as belonging to the defendant. Afric's training experience has taught him that criminals often engage in destruction of evidence in an effort to impair or hinder criminal investigation. They obtained search warrant for call detail records for the defendant's cellular service and Suzanne Simpson's cellular service, and a search warrant for the defendant's cell phone in his possession at the time of his arrest. Texas Rangers later executed the search warrant pursuant to the search of the defendant's cell phone. They learned from the Texas Department of Public Safety criminal analysts and FBI forensic examiners they had located 2 notes within the list device which were titled "This Next Life" and "Last Will and Testament," apologizing for physically assaulting Suzanne one time in August of 2023 and again on the previous Sunday night. They learned the defendant created these notes on 10/8, which was after the alleged assault of Suzanne Simpson on 10/6 and prior to his arrest by Rangers. On 10/10, your client learned from Texas Rangers that pursuant to the search warrant, the Texas Rangers searched the defendant's vehicle, which identified as a black 2019 GMC Sierra. He learned during the vehicle search, Texas Rangers identified stains that tested presumptively positive for blood. The blood belonged to the defendant. They interviewed a Frost Bank employee on the 23rd who was Suzanne Simpson's personal banker. Disclosed Simpson made an outcry of being physically abused by the defendant and that the defendant would commonly take her cell phone away. The ranger told your affiant that blank advised him that Suzanne told her that the defendant would tell her children that she had lost her phone after the defendant took it from her. Texas Ranger told your affiant that blank told him that Suzanne advised her that if she went missing to look for her in a lake. Blank was Suzanne Simpson's personal banker over the past financial year. The notes that Texas Ranger blank told him that this conversation took place around August of 2024. Was the banker a guy? Yeah, it was a guy. I wonder if she was close to the banker and he found out something. And it seems like he used her phone as a way of punishing her. I mean, she was a big real estate agent. Her phone was probably important to her, Your affiant reviewed cell phone data from the defendant's cell phone, which captures a text message communication from a female identified as blank. I still feel bad about tonight. I never should have grabbed her phone and drove off, but she was so protective of it. My dumbass didn't know her passcode, so I got locked out and had to bring it back. I really have no interest in looking through her phone or anybody else's. These devices are the devil. So that was September 2023. Was that the first assault he was talking about? August of 2023 was when he did. That was September. Affiant requested the Texas Rangers interview at her residence in blank, spoke with blank, who conducted an interview and learned the following information: that Suzanne Simpson was aware that the defendant would track her and that the defendant was extremely jealous. He conducted a subsequent search warrant at the Simpson residence. He learned from Texas Rangers they had located one bag of Quikrete cement and a box of heavy-duty trash bags and the metal fire rack. The box of trash bags contained 28 out of 32 trash bags. So he used some. It was a brand new box. There's no, nothing on her cell phone records, financial records, like no activity at all. All family and friends and coworkers agree the victim would never willingly abandon her children. I swear, I can't believe I can't find the pictures of his truck. It's pissing me off. Let's see if I can find it. I know there was a picture that was publicly of the CCTV of his truck. Like they showed the truck. Oh, he looks like scary a little bit too. I would be afraid of him. He got a little creepy look to him. I'll show you this picture at least. Like he just looks, I don't know. I think a little rough. I don't think that's the one. Anyway. That's him, but that's not the one I was looking for. I accidentally clicked on the wrong one because it looked similar to the one I was looking at. That's the Argyle, this one. Let me make this bigger. He's got like a creepy look to him. He almost looks like he has a ponytail, but he doesn't. That's the Valero gas station he was at. I feel like they like took it down or something, as I can't find it. It's out there. If you look for it, you might be able to find it. There's definitely pictures. He was in like the Facebook group or something, but there's definitely CCTV pictures out there of his truck, and you can see the stuff in the back. I'm going to take another minute to look for it, and if I can find it, then... Oh, they have a picture of the AK. I mean, it's nothing special. I'm so mad I can't find this. But we know. This is a good article. I'll share this with you. I don't have time to read it all the way through, but this shows like maps, some pictures of the truck, a statement by her brother. He says, our family is devastated by the disappearance of our beloved Suzanne. We are doing everything we can to fully cooperate with law enforcement, and our first priority is to find her and bring her home. Our second priority is to surround her children with love and ensure they are protected during this incredibly difficult time. We are desperately seeking answers and pleading for anyone with information to come forward. We greatly appreciate the public outcry and support, and we are aligned in wanting answers and resolution. We ask public to respect our privacy, and we deeply appreciate the outpouring of love. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Alamos Park Police Department. You could help make a difference. They're struggling to keep a positive outlook in her disappearance. They didn't want to give up on the search. Great friend and a wonderful mom. She's the sweetest person. So the Argyle seems pretty close to them. Oh, so at 3 p.m. on Monday, the 7th, the day he was driving back from, like, when he was in a rush, their child's school called Brad Simpson and advised him that their child had not been picked up from school. It said that on the affidavit, but I didn't see that. Suzanne typically picks their child up from school, so she didn't show up, obviously, because she was dead. The police interviewed the staff at the school one of their children attends. The child told staff that her parents were fighting and that her dad assaulted her mom and took her phone away. The affidavit states the child also said Suzanne Clark Simpson had a bruise on her elbow. I'm telling you, she also said that the dad threw the mom through a wall. I remember she said, like, dad threw mommy into a wall. I know I read that somewhere too, and now I don't know where I read that. The illegal machine gun hidden by friend inside the wall at his home. It was in his wall, apparently. Man. Let me show this link for you guys. It's a good like lays out everything nicely. Maybe the pictures were in the Facebook group. I don't know, but I remember seeing them. It was like bags, and then towards like the back where the window is, there was like a tarp with something over it. It is so dry. I typed in CCTV video of his truck. I'm going to see if maybe I can find it that way. But from looking at the truck, it didn't look like the shape of a body, if that makes sense. Like I remember looking at it and trying to see if it looked like it was in the shape of a body, and it didn't look like that to me. Oh, here's a map of all of the places that he went. I'll share this. All right. So this is the Simpson home here. This is where Brad dropped his daughter off at school. Video shows white trash bags and a large ice chest in the back of his truck. Then he goes from here to Whataburger. Police say he drove through this Whataburger for food. Video shows white trash bags, a gray heavy-duty trash can, fire right on top, and the Home Depot right near the Whataburger. Here's the waste facility up here. Then he goes to the Valero here. Then he goes to Medina. That's a city in Bandera County. So if he says you're at your house in Bandera, you want it to go back that way. Then he's there for 13 minutes and heads back to get his kid from school. Then he goes to the car wash. Oh, all these blacked out things aren't that blacked out. Yeah, here's the thing about the wall. Remember I was saying this is a different affidavit. Kevin Wright observed an indentation. Maybe it was blacked out on the wall at the bottom of the stairway of the residence. The daughter of the defendant and Suzanne Simpson learned from Chelsea Simpson the damage on the wall was recent and not previously there when she previously visited the home. Affiant later interviewed Simpson's housekeeper. No, where is it? Where they say? Where they interviewed the daughter. I don't know. I guess that's the arrest thing. I don't know. I can't find it. It's making me so mad that I can't find it. I just gotta let it go. Yeah, he did do a lot of traveling, and then he went back to that area. So obviously, there's crime online. I think this one I already looked at. Yeah, I already looked at this one. Oh well, if somebody, if you can find it, let me know. But it's out there. There's a picture of a shark somewhere, the CCTV footage. Maybe it was from a court date. I don't know. But it's there. So I literally remember the news conference, maybe. Let me look through the news conference. There was a news conference. Ow. No. No, it's not there either. Okay. Well, if anyone finds it, let me know. I know it's out there. And the only reason I remember it's out there is because I remember specifically trying to look at the shape of the tarp to see if it was in the shape of a body. And it didn't appear like that to me at all. So it made me wonder if she was even under the tarp, or maybe she was in the ice thing. I don't know, but I just remember looking at it and being like, that doesn't look like a body under the tarp. But I mean, if he used a saw to dismember her, then I'm sure it wouldn't look like her body, which it sounds like he had some kind of solve or something. So that's the only thing I can like really think of why it didn't look like that. But I just literally remember trying to like analyze it because I was very curious. Alrighty, well, I am going to end it. I'm getting tired and I need a shower before I go to bed, and it's already almost 1 o'clock. So, well, thank you for hanging out with me and going down my rabbit hole while I take forever. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, I know. I'm really interested in like the trial. Well, I really want to hear all of the evidentiary hearing because I really want to see if they've found anything else or like if they didn't share like more evidence that they have. And I want to know more about the Cotter guy. So we definitely have to keep an eye out on this case because I am dying to know how it goes. Sounds like April 22nd, was it? Is the next hearing. So Lori, try and remember that for me. April 22nd. We'll keep track of it. And we'll do an update with it. But they were good cases, weren't they? Like these are the like two of the ones that I kind of like went down a rabbit hole on in the past couple of weeks. Well, Suzanne Simpson, I started following that a little while ago. Like that was a while ago. But that Nikki Saelee, I started following it just a little bit right before they started talking about the guy where like they announced it was a homicide. And then I went down that rabbit hole and I just thought like it would be a good live to do them together because this case is so similar, kind of like they both are very similar situations. And I really want to see what happens with Nikki Saelee too, if they have enough evidence to get Tyler or if, you know, if he has something to do with it, because it sounds like they're getting somewhere with her. So hoping there's something with that soon so we can check that out. But good night, guys. I will talk to you later. See ya.